All right, just a few announcements this week. Snickerdoodle Shakeology is coming out on Tuesday. That's a seasonal flavor, so it's only available for a small amount of time. I love it for the holidays. If you are a sweets lover, you know those flavors are always nice to kind of mix.
It's staying around. Sorry to interrupt you. It's the new permanent flavor. It was chai, but now Snickerdoodle's the new permanent flavor.
Thanks for the correction. See, you don't have to know everything. So that'll be up Tuesday. If you are in our game day challenge, make sure to add your points to the Google Drive. I'm going to do the recognition for that tomorrow. So the October gift is a team tank top, and Allie and I will be picking a few winners. So it won't just be like who gets the most points. I know there was some questions of like, do we get a point for every workout? Because I know if you do a meditation and you do a workout and you do a stretch, that's like 3 workouts a day. And I'm not trying to make you guys do like 5 workouts a day. That's not the point. But if you have questions, just ask in the message pod. You can still join for next month if you'd like to join as well. Next month will be a charity donation to your charity of choice. So I think that's always a fun November thing to work towards and keep yourself consistent. And then the other thing, so Beachbody, I'm so bad. So when you know I'm an oldie. Body had their leadership conference this past week, and there was a lot of new announcements that some of the partners know about. But one of the cool things I wanted to highlight that's coming for November is a partnership with Brendan Bouchard. So if you've ever done any of his podcasts, he's incredible. I know a lot of us are very driven in our careers, so I highly recommend him for mindset and confidence and just like getting outside of your head when you're pursuing different goals in your life, whether it's health or career or relationships. And so he will now be a part of the Body business, but also the mindset channel on Body is going to grow with this addition, which I think is really, really cool. I personally love and listen to his podcast regularly. So more coming on that. We'll share some news. I just wanted to give you guys the download on that. I think that was all of my announcements. Allie, did you have anything else you wanted to add? All right. And then quickly, we'll just do recognition. Any shout outs that we want to share while I'm pulling up the questions? There's something good that happened to someone this week. So even if it's your own win, I want to hear it. Y'all know you can't be quiet on these calls.
Danielle, I see you. I see you thinking. Yeah, you.
Come on, you got a win of the week from your team? Something good happened.
I mean, I got caught up on my sleep, so I plan on starting this week, getting back into my partner stuff and catching up on everything. And I'm going to really start focusing on the 28-day action plan.
Love that.
So I've been talking to Allie about it, and I'm getting into the game. So, yes, she's going to hold me accountable for it, and we're going to, yeah.
Do you have a UVA sweatshirt on? Side note.
Yes, I do.
We need to kick that sweatshirt off.
I know it's so sad. I think you're outnumbered here. Just saying.
Yeah.
Love it. Any other wins where Allie and I do ours? Because we always have some. Allie, go for it.
I start my new job on Thursday.
That's awesome. Congrats.
Yes. So excited about that.
It's a big win.
I want to shout out Laura for talking through all of her struggles in our new partner message pod and being very open and honest. And I loved it. I loved all the honesty.
Okay.
And you shared your heart.
All right.
Great job, Laura.
Thank you.
Anything else, guys? Well, I wanted to shout out the Zoom crew because there has been a good amount of variation and change over the morning, which I love seeing. But also I'm excited because Jess and Missy are both within my team. And so I'm excited for them to share tonight. Missy, I actually got to see for the first time in a couple years now. She's been to a body event before with me. But we got to see each other in person this weekend, which is awesome. She came up for our Glow celebration from Virginia. So that is true commitment. And I just love the quality time with her. So she's gonna do a little intro for herself, but also Jess is in my larger downline, and I've gotten to know her a little bit more over the past couple of months as she's done 4-week gut protocol with us, and I've just seen her like really shift her journey. So I'm excited for both of them to speak tonight. We'll try to keep this 30 minutes to respect everyone's time, but I'm gonna let you guys share first, like a little bit of who you are, where you're from, just like some quick little facts so people know who you are. Because I know we all see each other on Zoom or we see each other in the bod group, but we know probably not that much about your life. So Jess, you want to kick it off? I know I put you on the spot.
There we go. Can we hear me?
Yes.
So my name's Jessica Frankie. I am from the Pittsburgh area. I'm a mom of 3, 5, 4, and 6 months. So very busy. We just moved back here probably a year and a half ago. Before that, I had been gone for 8 years for work. Moved 4 times in 5 years. So I bounced around a lot. So it's nice to be back home. I'm actually renovating my grandparents' house. So I am full circle right back where I started. I'm glad to be here. But yeah, it's busy. I work full time. My mom full time. My husband works full time. So I'm glad to be here and get to chat with you guys, and you keep me sane, that's for sure. So I appreciate you all very, very much.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thanks.
Missy, you want to do your little intro? I know I get you mid sneeze there. By telling your husband, go away, leave me alone. Okay, we'll let Jess continue a little bit and give her a second. Jess, how did you get connected to this community and kind of what made you say yes?
So, full transparency, I started Beachbody a long time ago. Never was consistent with it. I actually had a different coach at the time. There wasn't a lot of support from that person. So I kind of just dropped off and fell off the face of the earth in the world of working out. And then when I lived in Sarah, PA, I actually worked at the restaurant that Jill, her husband, I believe, owned or co-owned something. So that's how I met her. And then she was into Beachbody, and I actually talked to her about switching and being under her. So once I did that, she was a big support. She always kind of kept me on my toes and checked in more so than anybody else had in the past. So that definitely helped me get back into things a little bit. And then just recently is when I got really into things. So all thanks to Jill.
She's a good one.
She is.
All right, Missy, are you good?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to check on dinner for my husband.
No problem.
And I have this uncontrollable cough. So I already apologize for whatever's
All
coming
good.
up. But hi, I'm Missy. What am I doing again? I'm introducing myself.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about you and then how you kind of got connected to this community.
Let's see. I'm from Rich, Virginia, and let's see, a long time ago, Danielle like reach out to me on Facebook or something. And I feel like I had like just been doing like, I forget what it was. Like I was just like in grad school maybe or something. And I was like in need of just like something to do. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. And then I pretty much ever since then just kind of been following along with Danielle and doing programs, and we have a loud house. Um, yeah, I think so. It's been like probably like 8. It's been a long, long time
Yeah, Missy's been with
that
me
I've
since
been doing.
the very beginning.
I'm trying to think of what the first thing I ever did was. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't remember. Back when I had like CDs.
Yes.
Yeah.
School.
That was fun. And I had like a bootleg Insanity in college. And that was like the first like beach body thing I ever did. But it wasn't like with the team or anything.
Missy's a big Shanti fan.
Yeah, I do. I love Shanti and I love cardio. I'm like the opposite of most people.
His new program looks fire. I can't wait.
Oh my gosh, I know. I don't know how I can do with weights right now, but we'll see. I'll probably just do it just because I love him.
So let's talk about, I'm going to switch questions up a little bit because I think this is good for you to emphasize on, Missy. What has been kind of some of your struggles in your journey, and how have you been able to overcome them? Since you've been around for a long time, you've been through your wedding, you've been through 2 pregnancies, now your second postpartum. What are some of the things that you've struggled with, and what's kind of kept you here?
I would say like I guess I like my 3 like main like struggles that I've like come across have been just kind of like a mental health angle. I kind of have dealt with a lot of different bouts of like depression, and that's been really hard to come out of, and like pushing yourself to just like get out of the bed is like hard. So then like exercise was a nice way to like give me something to focus on, because I knew how much like it made me feel good, and it like just helped me like work on myself. And then right now, like especially now, I have like a lot of body issues, which can be like really frustrating. But like one of the things that I love most is that it helps me be almost more comfortable with myself, that I can just like modify whenever I need to. And like I've learned to like not really like feel bad about that. Like I get frustrated sometimes still just because that's just how I am. But just with the way body has been like over like the last like couple of years, like providing like the modifiers, I've been able to just like remember certain ones that work well for me, and just know that like I'm still moving and that's okay. And just like everyone here is doing some version of everything. It always makes it easier. And then I've had babies and that's always fun. um Sadie was a lot easier, my first daughter, because she slept through the night, and I was like waking up at like 4:15, and it became like the easiest thing ever for me. Like it would be weird for me to like sleep past like 5, 6. Like I'd wake up early on the weekends and work out before everyone got up, and it was like I felt so good. And then with the second baby, I was like, oh, this is gonna happen. I like worked out the whole time I was pregnant. I was like so proud of myself, but I still ended up gaining like way more weight the second time, which was like very frustrating for me because I was like, why is this happening? And then none of my children wanted to sleep. So I like haven't slept, I feel like, in months, over a year now. I feel like I just like don't sleep. So I have had to like adjust with the morning routine. It's like I get really excited when I can be there, but I've accepted that like if I can't, then I can't. I just have to like find another time. But I like being on the mornings because that's when everyone's on, and it makes me happy. But always knowing like someone is doing something, I can always find someone doing some program, like Danielle, like when she just randomly, like literally the night before she started, Transform 20 was there. I was like, what are you doing? She's like, well, I'm about to do this tomorrow. Do you just want to do it with me? And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go for it. And it just kind of made it more fun to be like, okay, like I'm gonna do it. And I'd see her up on the screen. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be doing that move tomorrow, or like, I'm doing that today. But yeah, I would say those are some of my biggest struggles right now, is like balancing like sleep and stress and time, with work, because I work with 2-year-olds and they take out a lot of energy all day, every day.
But I would say, like you even said this weekend to me, you still make the choice to do it even when you don't feel like doing it. And I think
Yeah.
that that's such an important aspect. And you continue to do any program, you just make it work for you your way. And that's why you've stuck around for so long, because I think women do get frustrated, or maybe you find something you don't like and stay with it because that's what everyone else is doing, but that doesn't always work for you.
Yeah. I feel like I'm always trying to like offer up like ideas on like I just like randomly still use my track from 9-week Control Freak, which I didn't actually complete that workout because I didn't love it, but I like the track.
Mhm.
And I use it for a lot of different things. It's like, so sometimes I like to just like let people know, like if they're having a hard time, like you can just do XYZ and you're still doing like whatever. So I like, that's a nice way to get connected with people, to help them like keep going too, because I know how frustrating I get when I can't do something. I have like very limited mobility in certain things, and it can be frustrating, and sometimes it's easier to stop. But when you have people like cheering you on, or you're up on the screen, it helps you just kind of be like, what, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. So yeah.
Awesome. Jess, you want to talk a
Sorry.
little bit? It's okay. Jess, you want to talk a little bit about over the last year, especially? I know that you've made a big shift, and maybe what you were struggling with and what helped you kind of make the change.
Yeah, so mine was definitely just getting out of my own way. I think I was my own worst critic in what I was seeing in the mirror, and then I was doing nothing to change it. So it was just, the definition of insanity. But I needed that kind of push, and Jill definitely helped me with that. She started kind of checking in and doing some things, and then I realized that I was getting up with the baby this time around, and my schedule was totally different than what it usually was, with the other two, because my other two would sleep till noon if you let them, which is great on a weekend. Um, but my littlest one, is ready to party at 5 o'clock. So I figured, I'm up, I might as well just do something with it. And he usually lets me get my workout done, and he kind of self entertains in his bouncer or whatnot. But definitely saying I didn't have the time was always my excuse. But I could sit and scroll on TikTok for 2 hours a night. I'm not a nighttime person though, so I'd always say, oh, I'll do it later. And I would never do it. So it was like morning or nothing for me. And I think once I started getting into that habit, I realized how much better I felt all day with that morning workout. And I realized like I wasn't drinking as much coffee. I was getting so much stuff done around the house. And it was more of like a natural energy coming out of it. So I had to realize all of that for me to finally, light bulb go off and say, okay, this is what works and this is what you have to stick to. So I had to get out of my own head and my own way, because I definitely would come up with some like BS excuses in the past for sure.
Well, and you plugged into like a test group that everybody was doing, and I think that really sparked a change for you, right?
It did. And the biggest thing for me, I think, was I started with for beginners only. And I felt so good doing that program because I could keep up. Because like Missy said, how she gets frustrated when she, has to modify or do something. I'm terrible with that. I mean, I remember trying to do Insanity back in the day and being like, why can't I keep up with him? Mind you, he's like a super trainer. So the day I tried to keep up with him, I'm pretty sure I waddled around with sore legs for like 2 months. It was just dumb. So when I did that for beginners program, I could keep up. So it boosted my confidence. And then, I still was tired, but I wasn't like dying. And it was so much easier to stay with it. So that definitely was my biggest kickoff point in my most recent journey. And hands down, like if I look at the calendar at the little blue dots on my tracking, this from August till now has been the absolute most consistent that I've ever been in 6 years. So like the last time I did anything for maybe 3 weeks was when 645 came out. Was a while ago. So
Well, and I think that's such an important reminder for partners on this call is like, we are so used to doing the next new program or what's exciting to us, but everybody's journey starts differently. And especially if you're postpartum, that's like a really frustrating time where you're coming off an injury. Cause I know Missy's had experiences with that. You have to build that muscle in your mind that you can tackle those things. But it had, like you said, Jess, it's a good stepping stone to start someone there so that they can build that confidence and take on those other programs and start to implement those other things. So I think that's really a good reminder. We sometimes forget that tool is in our toolbox. So segueing into what supplements have you loved or tried, or nutrition programs that you would recommend? What do you guys implement? And I know I'm just like totally off the cuff here. But what do you guys love and what do you use often?
So I use Energize religiously, which reminds me I actually need to buy some more. But I think that that is my accountability buddy. When I take that in the morning and then I get the little ants going everywhere, it's like I have to go work this out or else I'm just going to be like all day. Not in a bad way, but like I can feel them. So I kind of force myself. That's the first thing I do in the morning, like before I get dressed. And then it makes me have to do it because I have to work it off. So I use that every day and then Recover every day. Recover is probably one of my favorites. Next to Energize, those two for sure. I've tried a couple other things. I wish, and I'm probably an oddball, I wish I loved Shaco, but I cannot get over the texture or the consistency. And I probably haven't given it a full opportunity to maybe find a way to get that consistency somewhere. So I do supplement with another protein that I try and pay attention because it's like low sugar and natural, but it's one that I love and do every day. So protein's definitely my lowest intake throughout the day. But yeah, those two are absolutely my favorite.
Yeah, we should talk sampler pack trial test next month.
So I've done the sampler pack and I feel like I'm such a texture freak. Like I won't eat certain foods because of it. So
yeah.
I think it's just either how I'm mixing it or what I'm mixing it with. I need to find that like magic potion.
Yep.
Certainly willing to try, but I just haven't done it yet.
Laura wants to know what flavor, and if you use vegan or whey, or have you tried the Shakeology?
Which one have you tried? The vegan?
I think I just did the regular sample pack one.
Like the black or the white packages?
They were white.
So
okay.
vegan.
The vegan is the answer, Laura.
Yeah, we can help you out with that one. Figure out, because I do think it takes some trial and error, and there's now the Shakeology recipe books for each flavor, which is really cool. And there's a bunch of different desserts you can do too. You don't have to make it in shake form. So like I actually have been doing, because of gut protocol and needing the extra vegan reds, I've been doing Shakeology mug cakes for dessert each night, and they are like bomb. So especially in the wintertime when I don't want something cold, that's like phenomenal. We can talk offline about that. But
Sure.
all right, Missy, what have you loved? I know you've tried many things over the years.
I mean, obviously I love Energize. I
Yeah.
even sometimes will bring it to school with me for them to get through the second half of the day. But I've been working out on my breaks, so I generally bring it with me now. So I feel like I need to get the like individual thing, so I'm not like scooping powder all over the place. And then I like Recover. I feel like I'm like the oddball out. I really like love the orange one. Um, at first I got it, I remember like a long time ago, and I was like, this is disgusting. And then for whatever reason, now it's like I like after I'm done with the workout, it's like if I don't like I just like taste it already. It's like the weirdest thing. It's just kind
It's
of
just pregnancy hormones
true.
changing your palate.
but yeah, so I love that, but I always do like a lot of ice and water, and it's just like really cold. Like some I think when it's cold like that, it tastes a lot different to me. And I have Shakeology every day. I have like my like down to the T like shake that I make every morning. That I like. That was like oddly enough, I just drink it every day. I remember my first pregnancy, like it made me want to vom, so it was the worst. I was like, okay, I guess we're not doing this for a while. But like I like my shake. I have the vegan chocolate, and I put in like a third to like a half of a banana, whether it's like frozen or not. And I've started putting in oats recently, and just to add like a little bit of, because my psychiatrist, who's also like a nutritionist, like suggested adding in more like carbs in the morning. That's what she suggested, so I threw that in there. I do a lot of spinach in there too, and just like a little bit of peanut butter, because that gives it more of a smooth taste, I feel like. And I used to do the whey version of it, and I like them both, but I think I just ended up switching to the vegan one for whatever reason. And then, but I also really like the cafe latte, and I just like that one with like ice, like a lot of ice and water. And I don't know why. So I have that in packets for like on just like to have on the side. Because I wouldn't be able to really drink that every day. But I do love that one when it's nice and cold. Ooh, iced coffee. I never even thought about that. I don't really drink a lot of coffee. I like exercise kind of gets me energized. This is where I've been bummed. That I haven't been able to do morning workouts. But we had this conversation. Allie and I talked about this a long time ago about how it doesn't have to be that way. I keep telling myself. Anyways, I'm trying to think of what else I like. Oh, I use Hydrate, because I think a lot of the workouts that I do, like I love all like the high energy, high cardio. So I feel like I'm always like sweating like crazy. So I find that helps a lot. And when I love beach bars, I always have those. I have a whole box at school at all times. And I'm always like, anyone who works with me, I'm like, hey, I was like, I got protein in here if you need it. And I like the almond crunch ones, especially because I tend to always have at least one person with a peanut allergy. So, but they're my favorite anyways. So I love those. I carry them with me all the time, everywhere I go. I'm trying to think if I have anything else. I don't think I've like continuously used anything else.
Those are the kind of basics I would agree with.
Yeah, the basics. I use it all.
I was gonna say, you can tell she's my challenger one. We love the same things. Besides the orange recover, that is a hard no for me. But
I know, but I feel like I might be the only person who really likes it a lot.
no, I have one other, but you're few and far between. Yeah, and Joel. All right, so I know it's 9 o'clock, not trying to cut you guys off, but to kind of wrap things up, what has made you stay in this community? What would you tell someone, I know Missy and I kind of talked about this a little bit this weekend, like sharing what you're doing and why you're still here. Like, why is this important to you in your life? And why are you still a part of this community? Because I think that that's important to share. So Missy, you want to?
Yeah. I mean, it's really important to me because it's just like having a group of people who all kind of have a very similar goals, and everyone is really just real, like in the group, I feel like, and that's really helpful. Like, I don't, it's not just like people who are just like on Instagram showing like their best everything. Like, everyone here is always really open about like, I'm having this struggle, and then everyone always wants to help. It's like, you don't really have to be shy about anything. And I know that I can like just like randomly reach out to Danielle, or just literally randomly anybody. Like Danielle and other Danielle and I feel like we have talked in the morning now, and like I don't feel like nervous to just reach out to people who I've like literally never met, but I like know that we're like connecting and helping each other, which is like kind of just still like a crazy idea, but I think that is probably the biggest part about it, is that I know that like people are going to be supporting me who don't even know me, because we all kind of have the same ideas and goals and things.
Well, and even this weekend, now that you've been, this is, I think was your second event, and Missy didn't know any of the other girls coming, and she was having anxiety driving in the city because she never drives in the city. But she told me, like, I'm coming, like, I'm going to make this happen and we're going to figure it out. And you said it's because these events energize you. So, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it
I was so proud of myself. I literally like drove home, and I felt so good driving home, and I got all day, and I like came back to like the party that was going on where I was staying, and I was just like jazzed. I was like, I'm ready to go. I was like, I can make new friends. But then I like, after that, I was like, oh, this is too much interaction for me. But yeah, and then like after the thing I went with Allie, like that was really terrifying too, because I was like, I've literally never met any of these people before in real life. And that stuff's really hard for me. So like pushing past doing difficult things. I feel like this group kind of makes me do that a lot, where I'm like, you know what, I don't think I could do this, but I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do it anyways. I think my very first one was, I was like not in the middle, I was like kind of at the tail end of like a really big like depressive episode, and I really forced myself to go, and it was really scary for me to like go to this like convention center and like do a workout. I think that was with, oh my god, I can't think of his name.
Chris. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris.
and that was like amazing. But yeah.
Just a little reminder, like get to events, or like if you're local, get together with the people. I know Allie holds some events in Virginia too, but I'm going to start doing them more frequently because they make such a big difference. And it's so important for us as women, like having that time, whether you're just a challenger or a partner. So I'm proud of you for coming.
Thanks.
Jess, you want to bring us home?
Yeah. So for me, it's the no judgment piece. Never in my life did I think I would send back shots of how I think I lost weight in my hips to a random group of women, and not worry about, what kind of feedback I was going to get. Because I do, coming from you guys, it would all be either helpful, pumping me up, or, just all around good. So that's huge. I love that it's like working out in public without working out in public, because there's definitely some mornings where I'm a little ratchet, and that's okay. Because it goes back to the no judgment zone. I could never go to a gym and look like I look most mornings, and that's okay. But getting on and seeing other people there, where I swipe and I'm not the only person on Zoom, is my favorite. That's another thing that keeps me getting up in the morning, because I feel like 8 o'clock I've gone on there and it's a ghost town. So that definitely helps. But it's the motivation piece that comes from the group, and to kind of piggyback off what Missy said. She hit it on the head with everybody's doing their own thing, but kind of with the same common goals. So I appreciate it. And, I think that will always be something that keeps me going for sure.
Love that. And I think it's important for all of us to remember, like, each of us individually showing up, you never know who that's going to inspire on that day or push that day. And especially for partners, you guys showing up and sharing what you're doing, like, you never know who's watching. And I'm really proud of you both for sharing a little piece of your story tonight. I hope that it kind of reinvigorated you as well, to remind you that like your story is inspiring, and this team's really grateful for each of you. I'm grateful for each of you, and seeing you guys progress and knowing that it's not like a start and a finish point. I think for all of us, embracing that it's a journey where there's tons of twists and turns, and that's just how life is, but that you don't have to do it by yourself is why we still continue to be here. So I appreciate you guys taking time to be here, and I look forward to these Sunday calls growing, because we're going to continue to have community calls, and I encourage you to continue to bother your friends and bring them, because we want these topics to serve all of us to start our weeks together. So if there's any like topics you guys would like to cover, or any speakers that you'd like to have on, we see these calls as a way to give back and be more connected and start our weeks right. So appreciate y'all being here. And next Sunday will be a partners call. Yes, partners call. And then we'll be doing a Halloween happy hour the Sunday before Halloween, just like a fun hangout. So I will be announcing those shortly, but I will see you guys on Zoom in the morning. And again, thank you, Jess and Missy. Love you guys. Proud of you. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.